Consider for a moment all the things that you have tried in order to make your life better. Essentially, this is what you spend your time doing, what you spend your life doing. And yet you can see there are so many distractions, so many things that ensnare you, so many things that you do that don't help, so many things that you do that you wish you couldn't do, that you didn't have to do. And we see on the internet, day in, day out, all the different distractions that are out there. Dazzling bikini girls, outrageous podcasts. And of course, it is very fulfilling to go out and be a graffiti artist, to go out and be a musician, to play the piano, to learn how to play the piano. There is something very nourishing of the soul in order to do such things. And yet, there's something stopping you. There's something that catches you, that catches your mind. And this is because you're up against a machine. You're up against the whole cultural network, the matrix, if you will, although that term has been, we could say, overdone by now. Whatever it is, it's a network. Whatever it is, it's got you. And if you're searching, if you're looking for something, and you're being able to find the next step, then you only need to follow the path. You only need to go on to the next step, one foot after the other, and eventually you will get there. However, if you're stuck in a loop, if you're stuck in and around of doing the same thing over and over again, then following your one foot in front of the other won't work. Yes? And this is the grand difference. This is the difference that I wish people knew. When I look at my journey and the things that I've found, I think, where did it all begin? When did my story begin? And I think, well, was it that moment when I was 25 years old and I was a graffiti artist, spending every night painting down on the train lines, and that one time where I was out getting photos one day and I almost got hit by a train, and that was my wake-up call? Or was it the time when I lost my job and everything went bad with work, and all of my friends and community disowned me and I was cast out? Or was it the time when I read a particular book, a book that was so moving, so profound, that I realized I had to change? That book was by Ken Wilber, an amazing author, an amazing person who is very inspiring, very moving. Or maybe it was the moment when I really started listening to Osho talks. It's really something that can fry my brain. I knew that I had my brain fried. Like, who is this guy? Like, what on earth kind of perspective could he be living inside of to say such things? I couldn't believe it. And of course, it was listening to Osho and reading books by Ken Wilber and also going to meditation retreats that eventually allowed me to realize that I actually have to go to India. I have to go to the Osho International Meditation Resort and study there. And I did. I went there and I studied. Once I was there, I was immersed in the culture, in the Buddha field, as they say. And I was just seeing, what is there? What do they have? I didn't know the day I arrived. I was just there. I knew I had to be in that place. And I was there longer and longer. I kept extending my stay, as a lot of people do when they first go there. I started out with just going for 1 month, and I ended up extending for up to 9 months just on my first stay there. And this was a time when I had already played a lot of piano, and I'd even quit playing music altogether for some years. And I'd already done lots of graffiti. I'd really lived that life to the fullest, and I'd even quit graffiti and thought, I've had enough of that. And I had read a lot of books. I'd listened to so many podcasts, not just Osho talks, but also Terence McKenna and Alan Watts and Ram Dass and Teal Swan, and the list goes on. And I thought, this is the new chapter for me. This is what my life has been bringing me to arrive at, which is very different to being stuck in a loop. It's being very different to just hearing the podcasts and listening to them over and over again. To be brought to a new place, to be brought to somewhere where something new can lead from it, is extremely profound. Now, it's my message for the world that each and every person can find their path. they can find their way to express themselves, whether it's through graffiti or playing the piano or something else. Even if it's through being a bikini model or being a surrealist artist. These are all valid ways to express yourself. Now, I don't know what I can say about the meatheads speaking on their podcasts. I don't know what I can say about the armchair philosophers. Probably I have quite a lot to say against them, and I have something to say about the loops that they get people stuck in, of just keeping people on and keeping people stuck in the over and over, the repetition, the mind trickery, the conditioning of hearing the voice, of hearing the outrage voice. There's something very devious about that, even if they don't know that that's what they're doing. But if you can find something that can lead to the next step on a journey, on a path which is leading to something new, then you've found something special. And for me, that was living in India. That was finding groups like No Mind, finding groups like Mystic Rose, groups like Born Again, and even also Path of Love. The first time I did Path of Love, I believe that was in India. And I found it's all over the world. And it's like what I was saying before about being late to the game. The Path of Love Awareness Intensive is done all over the world. Get with the times. Maybe this is the first time you're hearing about it. Maybe this is the first time you don't even know what it is. Maybe. And yet it's been going on for over 30 years. It's been going on in multiple countries. Thousands and thousands of people have been through its benefits. And that's not even anything to say of a technique like Vipassana meditation, which has been going on for thousands of years, literally. So are you late to the game? Are you leading to something new? Are you taking steps that go one foot in front of the other towards a summit, towards a peak, towards something that is totally different to where you are now? Now, where you are now, one thing I've learned about situations is that there's only ever a certain number of things that you can do in any environment. There's only a couple of things you can do. Really, if you think about it. If you're just sitting in your room, there's only so much physically that you can do. Now, if you get into the noosphere, and we're talking about mind and imagination and outer body experiencing and all the rest of it, then there's an infinite amount of things that you can do. Yes? But the difference is that you don't do that because you haven't left your room. You haven't gone to another country. You haven't gone way out. Once you've gone way out, it's perfectly possible to sit in your room with your eyes closed, with your mouth shut, and on a cushion, moving nowhere, doing nothing, and yet also to be far out. Yes, just like the old saying goes. The more out, how does the saying go? The more in you go, the more out you are. Yes, but you won't be able to do that unless you've been far out. You remember the movie The Jumper, where the guy could teleport to any place he's been to before. Well, having the ability to teleport doesn't mean anything if you've only been to a few different places. If you've been all around the world and you can teleport into all those different places, then wow, it really means something. And in a very real sense, the ability to meditate and to be timeless and to do astral projecting and to disassociate from disassociate is not the right word, to leave the physical body, to enter the dream body. Disassociation has a negative connotation that I can't get into right now. But, these are all rabbit holes. Look, I really need to wrap this up because we've got so much work to do, and that's really the point that I want to finish on. If you're on board with this, then it's like, okay, good. Now we get to work. Now we begin, right? So we learn the techniques of time travel and meditation. We read the correct books. We learn about the psychology, whether it's the Enneagram, the spiral dynamics, Maslow's hierarchy of needs, or any other dozens of systems that we can go into. You learn about question tennis, tantra, eye contact and perception techniques, and the list goes on. Yes, it's like, okay, now you're on board, let's get to work. Now you're here and you realize that you're late to the party and you realize that you're on a path that is going to something good, that is leading to something different. Let's get to work. It begins right here. Now, I understand that you probably can't leave your room right now. There's only so many things that you can do, but one of the things you can do right now is to engage right here, to hear this message, to say, okay, what are we going to do? Let's follow the steps. Now, the other thing is I actually have an online course on self-authoring. You can do that for free. That's very different to listening to your brain rot politics. Yes, I know it's great, wonderful to hear about the world's richest man cutting funding to the starving children. I know we're all waiting for the next corrupt, out of this world grift thing that Donald Trump is going to do. And any moment now, he's going to do something horribly terrible. He's proven that. And we're all going to laugh and joke and be horrified about that as well. Yes, but in the meantime, do something positive, do something real. Get on board with this. The amount of work that we have to get through begins now, and it is a lot of stuff that we have to get through. So if you're new here, my name is Doster. This is my channel. This is where I share my story and all the things that have helped me. So please do subscribe, leave me a comment, click the like button, and I'll be back very soon with more.